What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darium's Competitive Pokemon, back with another card of the day video. Today's card of the day is Mallow. Mallow is a supporter card that reads, search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle your deck, then put those cards on the top of your deck in any order. So, Mallow is a supporter card that allows you to stack your deck, basically. Seems good, right? I mean, kind of. It could be seen as a very slow supporter. You don't get the cards that you want out of your deck into your hand immediately. Unlike Skyla, who searches your deck for any trainer card, puts it directly into your hand. Unlike Teammates, which was a supporter card that if a Pokemon got knocked out, you could put any 2 cards from your deck into your hand. You know, Mallow just takes 2 cards from the deck and stacks them on top of the deck. Seems kind of underwhelming. However, Mallow can be very powerful when paired with draw cards. So it was really good in Mega Rayquaza EX. It was a deck that played lots of copies of Shaman EX. With Shaman EX's set up ability, which allowed you to fill your hand to 6 cards when you played Shaman from your hand to the bench, you could use Mallow and stack your deck, right? Pick 2 cards from the deck, put them on top of your deck, shuffle the rest of your deck, right? And then set up, and if you could set up for at least those 2 cards, you knew you were going to set up into the exact 2 cards that you needed. This was really good for minimizing the amount of items that Mega Rayquaza would burn versus Trash Lance Garbodor decks. So Mallow could make sure that you were going to draw into the exact cards that you needed, so you didn't need to go burning Ultra Balls and Spirit Links and Mega Turbos, if you didn't absolutely have to. So Mallow was really good in this deck. However, Mega Rayquaza is, rotated now, so that is not an option anymore. And without Versus Seeker in the format, it was looking pretty bleak for Mallow. Mallow as a 1 or 2 of in standard format does not seem like a very powerful option. However, just recently, I saw a friend of mine, Nick Robinson. You may remember him. He was 2016's U.S. National Champion. He won with Vespiquen Night March in 2016. I saw recently on Facebook that he is playing a Gardevoir GX deck that features 1 copy of Mallow in standard format, and he just won a League Cup with that. So that got me thinking that maybe Mallow has some promise in the upcoming standard format as a 1-of card. And if you think about it, in these decks that are playing Octillery, Mallow can still be that game-winning card that you need. In Gardevoir GX, a lot of times, all you want to do is draw into the perfect combination of cards in order to take, crucial knockouts. A lot of times that might mean getting double colorless energy and choice band. That might mean getting a double colorless energy and a fairy energy. It might mean just getting set up and getting the rare candy Ultra Ball you need in order to set up another Gardevoir, in order to set up your Gallade. In combination with Octillery, Mallow can be very powerful, being able to stack your deck and then draw into the cards that you need with Abyssal Hand. Because this format is slower, and because you have the option to search out N so easily, you can preserve your Mallow until the perfect time in the game, search it out with Tapu Lele GX, stack your deck accordingly, and then draw into some game-winning cards. In the past, Gardevoir GX decks were using Teammates, to make sure that you could get those 2 cards that you needed in order to respond to an opponent's threat, actively and make sure that you got these crucial knockouts, right? So Mallow functions in a little bit of the same way as Teammates used to. Obviously, it's not quite as good. Teammates, would just get 2 cards out of the deck when you got an opponent, when your opponent knocked out a Pokemon. Mallow stacks 2 cards to the top of your deck, and you have to have Octillery out really to get the full use out of it. I also think that in Gardevoir GX, you have you do have Gallade as an option as well. And Gallade's Premonition stacks the top 5 cards of your deck in any order that you would like. So Gallade's Premonition in combination with Octillery could be very useful as well, since you can stack the 5 top cards of your deck in any order, and then maybe if you only get to Abyssal Hand for 1 or 2 cards. Oh, hello, Carl. Looks like we have a miniature Carl here climbing onto Mallow. Ah! As I was saying, Gallade can kind of take Mallow's place. Even though Gallade is not quite as powerful as Mallow, you don't get to search your deck for any 2 cards. You have to work with the top 5 cards. It does kind of contradict Mallow in some ways, because you're not going to I guess like you could use Mallow, right? Put the 2 cards on the top of your deck in any order, then shuffle the rest of your deck. Then you could use Gallade's Premonition, and then you would see the 2 cards that you Mallowed for with the 3 additional cards below it. And then maybe if you wanted to reorganize the 3 cards after those initial 2, you could do that. You know, maybe if you're about to Abyssal Hand for 3 cards and you want to make sure that that 3rd card that you get is also good. So I'm not quite sure how useful Mallow is, just because it seems like that it's kind of redundant with Gallade already, you know, filling a similar role in these Gardevoir GX decks. And I do also think that maybe Mallow is only really very good in these Gardevoir GX decks. I mean, because it kind of needs these 2-card combinations in order to get moving and in order to continue to take knockouts. I also think that Gardevoir GX is just the best deck at abusing not Gallade, but Octillery right now, and it has the most bench space for it, and really just accommodates for Octillery better than any other archetype right now. So I think Mallow is a best fit in standard Gardevoir GX if you were going to play it in standard format. However, I don't really see Mallow being too terribly useful in many other archetypes. Other archetypes just need a lot more going on than just 2 cards. I mean, in Tapu Bulu Vikavolt, you could play an Octillery and a Mallow, but honestly, in that deck, you're better off just playing Skyla, because a lot of the times the items that you need in Tapu Bulu Vikavolt, you know, are just that. They're items, right? So you could search them out via Skyla, and then you could continue to draw with Abyssal Hand. Maybe if you just need an energy or something like that, you know, odds are you'll probably hit one off an Abyssal Hand. You don't necessarily need to be playing Mallow to do that. So that just about wraps it up for Mallow. Those are kind of, you know, all my thoughts on the card. Could be played as a one-of in Gardevoir GX. Not exactly the most useful card in this format without Versus Seeker, since it's just a one-and-done kind of deal. However, it could see some niche play in Gardevoir GX. So let me know what you all think of Mallow the supporter in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.